Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Gods, he's BSJ, and we've got Team Secret versus Beastcoast Game 2. Beastcoast shocking us a little bit.
Yeah, pleasant surprise. Yeah. It was good Dota. I don't feel like Secret played poorly, really. I think that Echo Slam kept them in the game. The 4-man vacuum into 4-man Echo, I feel like the game would have just ended maybe 10 minutes earlier if it weren't for that. So even a few things going against Beastcoast, and they still took it.
Yeah, and it's kind of almost fitting because in some ways, the South American teams, they're always these wildcard teams, but for Team Secret particularly, like they've had a history of sometimes being upset and, being caught by surprise. Like going back to like Kiev Major, like 3 or 4 years ago, they lost in the first round of the playoffs and got eliminated by a South American team. So Beastcoast kind of continuing that a little bit here. Just group stage, still early days.
I want to look this up, but I'm almost certain that Secret was the team that eliminated Infamous at TI9.
Okay, so forget everything I just said. Secret doesn't. No,
for whatever reason, I thought about it when you said that they were cut off Bulgar, because I remember they gave them Wraith King
in
every other series.
Okay.
And then Secret was like, no. Okay. Not giving them Wraith King.
I think you might be right.
Yeah, I'm just confirming with the bracket, because this is something that is incredibly relevant that I promise I'm not trying to be lazy, guys. I just only thought about it because he mentioned that they wouldn't get they would get. Yeah, they were 2-0'd Infamous.
2-0'd, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And that was after they had beaten Newbie as well. They were making a run through the lower bracket on the side of Infamous, so they were the ones on the yeah. They were like, no, your Cinderella story ends with us. But Mars getting a first-round ban. Now, I respect that players having their signature heroes, but I don't think Mars is necessarily broken or anything, and I also don't think Whisper is like a one-dimensional player.
Yeah,
I view him as a very versatile offlane player. So
for
weird ban.
And Shadow Demon first pick? That's something
totally normal, yeah.
Totally normal.
5 seconds.
Yeah, I actually have no idea what they're going for here. Are they trying to set up like a Luna or a TB or something? Like
maybe there's something. Yeah, they wonder if they're saying they feel like Team Secret's going to pick based on what's left in the pool, and then Shadow Demon's good against it.
I have to imagine Weaver's of a strong consideration. It's been getting banned a lot, but they are going to ignore it, perhaps. Weird that they're picking Earthshaker when there's already a save in the equation. I think maybe Beastcoast predicted that whatever they pick, Team Secret will still.
Ooh. So there's the deviation. Venge comes out second.
Makes it difficult to save somebody if they are swapped when they get stunned. So that's probably the idea behind it. And I'm curious if Beast Coast will go ahead and snatch up that Illusion Hero.
10 seconds.
Even though Earthshaker on paper is like good against Illusion Heroes, I do think TB is still decent because you buy like SNY, BKB, and you aren't necessarily clumped up around your illusions, and then you can reflect the Venge.
Yeah,
right. So they might even go for an early pick TB here, but maybe the hero's just not powerful enough. Maybe that's the reasoning.
I feel like we're seeing pretty little. There's been 1 or 2 TBs, but not what it quite used to be. Venge does feel like it's like that. To me, this is them saying, okay, the Nature's Prophet didn't quite work. What's another kind of flexible opening 2 pick? Because we've seen the Venge play as a support. It can play in that core role with the Ags build, and to me, this is just a slight kind of tweak in the drafts from Puppy to try and fix things here for game number 2.
Yeah, we thought they might have to go back to the drawing board, and this is certainly a hot take, or a different take, I guess you could say, on what their game plan. Last game was very skirmishy based, I guess you could say, low cooldown, and Venge is more about like long drawn out team fights, damage, minus armor, so we could be seeing like SFs or Slardars or something like that. And they instantly pick the Storm, which to me is okay against Venge, because if she swaps somebody and they barely get out, the Storm can probably go finish them off. But you're also dealing with Shaker, who's a hero who can stun you from long range, setting up for other stuns, such as the Venge, that would normally struggle to connect against the Storm. But definitely a Chris Lux special was at the tier 2 top. Beast Coast is farming 3 lanes, so makes sense.
There's a method to what they're doing. Yeah, when you scratch your head and you look around, like, okay, it kind of makes sense. I think with this Storm pick, it's also like, to me, when you talked a bit last game about, okay, what to do when you have that second pick, how you get the last pick of the second phase and the third, the final phase. That's the one pick where first pick has the edge, is that fourth pick of the draft, so to speak, where they pick Storm, because they pick it, then they get the bans. It does feel like a position where you want to pick a core hero that can have a high impact on the game.
Yeah, it's also covered a bit by the Shadow Demon. You don't want to pick heroes like Lina usually because they struggle against the if they pick Shadow Demon, they have like probably across all their scrims maybe 3 or 4 heroes they've ever picked in this second role. And that, surprisingly, Anti-Mage, Shadow Demon's kind of decent against him. You can disrupt him and get his mana burn. But Storm, very annoying. Going to play, obviously.
Yep. So, and Team Secret banging out that silencer. I think with the Shaker and how last game went, that is a good idea.
It just makes it so difficult to play. All the items. Our Shaker wants to. Another hero that used to get owned by SD because he built Yules and you just can't Yules yourself, but a lot of Lushes are kind of going, just skipping that and going like Mana Boots, Eternal Shroud.
One of the heroes I saw some people predicting to be like a most picked or most banned hero was Beastmaster, but that hero is nowhere to be seen.
It's too fragile in the laning phase, I think. I think the hero, if it gets off the ground, is really strong, but you have to have a specific situation for it to get off the ground. Yep. So if that's the case, it means the hero will never usually be early rounded.
It seems like the Lycan is just better and preferred by most teams. Like as far as it's the Helm builder, you've got the utility of the Ags build later on too. If you get the nice synergy, we've seen a lot with the Tiny.
You don't have to be with your crew. With your aura, and on Lycan, you can just have a dragon that hits for 230 damage, and you don't have to be near it.
Team Secrets turn to pick.
And they go Gyro, which I like a lot less than Terrorblade. As of now, I'm gearing him up to get swapped in and die. That's what I'm looking at for Gyro. It's very hard for him to tank these spells. Usually Gyro wants a sustain support, like Wyvern, because you still have your Ag Side Gunner going off. Io, anything like that, Oracle, but not. I'm just concerned of his ability to actually stand his ground. Okay, what?
There's a lot of lockdown and control from this Team Secret side. Shaker, Shaman, that's like two of the most lockdown heavy supports.
No saves. I mean, they have Shadow Demon and Disruption, but they're going to cast one spell on you. You're going to get disrupted, and then it's either going to be Fissure or Split Earth or even just Shaman just insta-hexing you.
Yeah.
after you come out. It's not going to exactly feel like you got saved. You kind of just got your fate delayed.
It was like one of those games where like
10 seconds
something like
remaining.
a Legion commander with an ag shard or something could be really nice to save your
5
cores.
seconds
They might have to
remaining.
all in that offlane save, like a bad in Omni Knight. Heard crazier things. It's not ideal though against Venge. Venge is so good as a combo breaker against saves because you. Ban against Gyro makes sense. That was back when you had the attitude. Free wins all around.
5 seconds remaining.
So we'll see what Secret are about here. Definitely some questions about where their lane's going, which is a good thing when you have that last pick of the draft, having that kind of flexibility. Probably a Matu hero picked up last, but we've even seen safe lane Venge. Theoretically, safe lane Venge is not complete. Really out of the question? Yeah, okay, it's out of the sounds like out of the question.
Yeah, the thing
30
about
seconds.
Venge in this meta is her job is to kind of die. I think that's what makes her good.
Keep an eye out for an easy rush.
Will be.
Offlane and you're in Ags and you're still getting XP.
That will carry the game, but
Okay.
yeah, does. It's a hero I've seen Zai playing pubs on, the offline Venge.
You have done a great service.
So as Nisha's looking
Great top for a Sand King. Sand King struggles early levels usually.
down in the bottom lane.
And even though Medusa's still winning by a few CS, they don't, like, Sand King's similar to Axe. He starts cutting creep waves, and they don't really stop him as compared to what we saw earlier. So he should have a pretty feels-good start. He's already gone for the Soul Ring, which allows him endless sandstorms, queuing up the Tranquils.
Chris Luck just hit level 6. And he's going to use that to ball lightning over the fissure. Get out of there, okay.
Whew. I have to imagine there's some small camps in there.
Feels good to be this.
Yeah, probably.
But usually.
Either way, that is a
Medusa's still winning by a
big
few CS.
farm advantage going his way.
They don't, like, Sand King's
Secret
similar
has
to
an
Axe.
insanely
Greedy draft. Like Venge farming
Yeah.
offlaner, Medusa very farming safe laner, and Lesh starts cutting creep waves.
I would say his early
And-
momentum is
Based off of either him crushing the lane or his other heroes being like really strong, so he can just like follow them. And so I'm imagining there's going to be a lot of do nothing from Secret, and Storm Sand King don't really stop him as compared to what we
also
saw
greedy
earlier.
cores that
He should
are
have a
usually
pretty
hindered
feel-good
by their
start.
need
He's
to
already gone
participate in
for
the game,
Soul Ring,
and I
which
don't think they're going to
allows
have that.
So I'm really leaning towards Beast Coast going